So hope all of you are doing very fine. Now today we are going to learn staffing part 2. In the last session or in the first part we had learned about the staffing process and meaning of staffing. So today let's learn the aspects of staffing. There are three major aspects of staffing: recruitment, selection and training. So in this session we are going to cover recruitment aspect. Now let's understand what is recruitment. Recruitment is the process of searching for a prospective employee who's suitable for your organization, who matches your job profile. So the process of searching for prospective employee and stimulating them to apply for the job in your organization is called recruitment. Why do these people or why do organizations they advertise through various sources, through print media, that is newspaper, they also advertise into magazines, they also advertise into the, of course, now we have very technically advanced social medias. So the main objective behind is to have a prospective or the best employee who can match with the job profile of the organization. Now, of course, when we talk about recruitment, the first thing which comes to our mind is advertising. As I said, so advertising is commonly part of recruitment process. Now, we can have two sources of recruitment. We can have internal source of recruitment and external source of recruitment. When we say internal source, internal means recruiting or searching the employee for a particular position within the organization. Now, who are the people who can actually fill those positions within the organization and how? So the first internal source of recruitment is transfer. It involves shifting of an employee from one job to another or from one department to another. Like let's say, for example, I have Mr. Goel as a manager of marketing, and he has been doing extremely well in my company since 10 years. Now, my company is planning to expand and start with branch offices in, let's say, in some other state. Let's say we are planning to launch our company or expand our company or branch in Delhi. Now, of course, I would need a person who can take care of my Delhi office. And for that, I would need an experienced person. Obviously, I would not like or want to have someone who doesn't know anything about my organization. So the best option I could have here is I can transfer my employee from one place to another. That means I can send Mr. Goel to take care of Delhi office. And once he settles everything there, either I can make him head of that particular branch or I can call him back once he settles the office and finds his replacement in that particular branch. So it involves shifting of an employee from one job to another, from one department to another, or from one shift to another. Transfer is a very good source of filling the vacancies with employee from overstaffed department. See, it's not necessary that always you transfer when there is a need. Sometimes when there is overstaffing in one particular department, then the employee can be transferred to the department where there is a need for resources or manpower. So it is practically a horizontal movement of employee from one place to another. It should be ensured that employee to be transferred to another job is capable of performing it. Promotion is another source or internal source of recruitment. That is, promotion, when we talk about promotion, we are talking about, the practice of filling the higher jobs by promoting the employee from the lower jobs. So business enterprises generally follow this practice of filling the higher job position by promoting the employee from lower job. This is very important because when you are promoting the employee from lower to higher job, or when you are looking for a vacancy for for higher job, then employees are better option because they know about the organization, the working style. They are very much familiar with working culture. So it would be easy for them to adapt to the work fast. So promotion leads to shifting of an employee to a higher position, carrying higher responsibility, facilities, status, and pay. Let me give you an example. If Mr. X is working as an executive for business development and there is a vacancy for senior business executive development or assistant manager area. Now I know that Mr. X has been working since 5 years and his performance has been very good, very consistent and stable. Obviously, instead of hiring people from us outside, I would prefer Mr. X to fill up that higher position because he's very much acquainted with the work in my organization. So I don't have to train him. I don't have to incur cost of training or making him understand or invest my time because he must be very much well acquainted with the work. So promotion is vertical shifting of an employee from lower to higher. Now this practice helps to improve the motivation, loyalty, and satisfaction. Obviously, when I would promote Mr. X from lower to higher position, which means psychologically also he would be satisfied thinking that my boss has taught me to be competent enough to take that responsibility, and which in turn would motivate him and be loyal towards the company. Now, all these things would give him job satisfaction, which is very important. Now, what are these merits or advantages of having internal sources of recruitment? Employees are motivated to improve their performance through internal sources. So promotion at a higher position obviously may lead to chain of promotion at a lower level. Now, this would motivate them to work more effectively and efficiently. So internal recruitment also simplifies the process of selection and placement, which means you're saving your time and the cost because you're hiring the person within the organization to fill the higher position. So this is more reliable way of recruitment since the candidates are already known to the organization. Transfer is a tool of training the employees to prepare them for higher jobs. Now, also people recruited from within the organization do not need this induction training. Just now I gave you an example that I don't have to spend time, money, or incur any cost after that employee because that employee is very much known to the company. So transfer has the benefit of shifting the workforce from the surplus department to those where there is shortage of staff. It also helps in filling of jobs internally, which is very cheaper as compared to getting the candidates from external sources. Because when you're recruiting the people through external sources, you'll have to incur cost, which is very high. When we have certain advantages, everything comes with certain limitations. And of course, internal sources also have certain limitations or disadvantages. Now, one of the major disadvantages is that when the vacancies are filled through internal promotion, the scope for induction of the fresh talent is reduced. So you will not get the fresh talent in your organization who might be creative or innovative in terms of thinking. Because when the person joins newly to any organization, they are at the peak of their creativity and innovativeness. So the employee may become lethargic if they are sure of time-bound promotion. So a new enterprise cannot use internal sources of recruitment. Like let's say, for example, if the company is hardly 2 to 3 years old, you cannot afford to have internal sources of recruitment or promotion because you need to fill that vacancy with experienced and capable people. So no organization can fill all its vacancies from internal sources at the same time. That is another disadvantage. The spirit of competition among the employee may be hampered. Now, obviously, let me give you an example that if you are the boss and two subordinates are working under you, now you have to decide whom to promote. There would be internal conflict among those two subordinates because there would be, competition, or sometimes it can be harmful to the organization when there is a conflict between those two subordinates to fill up that higher position. Now, frequent transfer of employees may often reduce the productivity of organization. This is another limitation. if continuously I have very frequent transfer in my organization and I'm filling the vacancies through transfers often, then it would reduce the productivity of organization. The reason is, let's say for example, if an employee is transferred to another department, by the time he gets used to that particular department, again he's transferred to another department. So the problem is, by the time he gets adjusted to his work or work profile or job profile, the transfer is taken place. Now this will reduce his productivity in the organization. All these were the limitations and advantages of internal sources and types of internal sources. Now let's talk about external sources. As I said, that recruitment can be done two ways, either through internal or external. Now let's talk about external sources of recruitment. The first one is direct recruitment, which means a notice is placed on the notice board of the enterprise specifying all the details of job available. So any job seeker can assemble outside the premise of the organization on specified date, and selection is done on the spot. So the practice of direct recruitment is followed usually for casual vacancy of unskilled or semi-skilled job, or you can say casual laborers. So direct recruitment is more suitable for unskilled or semi-skilled jobs. Now such workers, that is the casual laborers, are also called as budly workers because they keep on changing and they are all paid on the daily wage basis. They are not paid either monthly or weekly. The amount of work is done in a day and they are paid on the same day. So remuneration or salary is given to them on the daily wage basis. Now this method of recruitment is very inexpensive as it does not involve any cost of advertising, because you are just keeping a notice either on the premise of your factory or the gate of the factory, and so that laborers can come on the spot and give the interview. The second external source of recruitment is casual callers. Now, many reputed business organizations, they keep a database of all the applicants. Like, let's say, for example, every company, they keep on receiving the resume or biodata or database of so many applicants. Now, all these database of all the applicants are maintained in their office. So such job seekers can be a valuable source of manpower. So a list of such job seekers can be prepared and they can be screened to fill the vacancy as they arise. The third way of external recruitment is advertisement. Most of the senior position of the industry as well as the commerce are filled by this method, because this is one of the best way of filling the vacancies through external source of recruitment. So advantage of advertising vacancies is that more information about the organization and job can be given in the advertisement. You would have seen in the newspapers or magazines about the vacancies or job vacancies, and they also mention the whole job profile as to what kind of qualification, background they want, how much years of experience they are looking for in their manpower. So advertisement gives the management a wider range of candidates from which they have to choose, because the scope is wider, because when you advertise, you get n number of applicants and you can choose the best among them. Another source of external recruitment is employment exchange. Now, these employment exchanges are run by the government and they are regarded as a good source of recruitment for unskilled and skilled operative jobs. Now, in some cases, compulsory notification of vacancy to employment exchange is required by the law. Let me make you understand as to how it works. All the people who are looking out for a job or who are unemployed, they can register themselves into the employment exchange, and once they register, they get the notification whenever any vacancy arises in any of the organizations which is matching with their capability or which is matching with their job profile. So thus employment exchange helps to match personal demand and supply by serving as a link between job seekers and employers. Now this employment exchange also helps the employers, because they can easily get the applicants through employment exchange. Unfortunately, the records of employment exchange are often not up to date, because sometimes what happens is, let's say that few employee got, few candidates, they got selected through employment exchange, but the data is not updated, or few candidates have already joined, they are already with the job, but it still shows as if they are unemployed in employment exchange. So sometimes the record of employment exchange are often not up to date, and many of the candidates referred by them may not be found suitable. The next external source of recruitment is placement agency and management consultant. This is what we call them as a recruitment consultant also. Now these agencies, they compile the biodata of large number of candidates, and whenever any need arises to their client, that is the company, they recommend this suitable name to their client. Now such agencies charge fees for their services, and they are useful where extensive screening is required. Let me give you an example for this placement agency. Like, let's say, for example, if I'm running a placement agency, and obviously placement agency has n number of database of the candidates who are in search of job or who are in need of a job. Now, if I have a client base, let's say that I have a client Reliance, Adani, Tata. Now, whenever any vacancy arises, they give me the responsibility to find the suitable candidates, and they give me the job profile according to which I have to search. Now, obviously, I would search into my database, match that job profile with the candidate, and forward the same to the client or the company, whichever I have mentioned. So this helps to get the recruitment easier. Now, management consultancy firms help the organization to recruit technical, professional, or managerial personnel. They specialize in middle and top management level, and they are best for top and middle level executive placement. Another external source, and the most important source, external source of recruitment, is campus recruitment. Many big organizations, they maintain a close liaison or contact with the universities or vocational schools or business schools or management institutes, so that they can recruit the qualified personnel for various jobs. Of course, these are the freshers who have just completed their studies and they are looking out for the job. So campus recruitment helps them to get the job directly from these institutes. Recruitment from educational institute is well established practice of all the business nowadays. The next source is recommendation of employees. Now, applicants which are introduced by the present employee, like let's say if X person is already working in my company and X knows that there is a vacancy which is to be filled for so-and-so job profile. Now, he can recommend either his friends or relatives, which may prove to be good source of recruitment. So such applicants are likely to be good employee, because when your employee is recommending, he or she would see to it that they give a better recommendation. So such applicants are likely to be good employee because their background is sufficiently known to the organization. The next source of external recruitment is labor contractors. Now, labor contractors, they maintain close contact with the laborers, and they can provide required number of unskilled workers at a short notice. Like, let's say, for example, if I'm in the need of 20 unskilled laborers or workers in another 2-3 days time frame, then these labor contractors may help me to get the workers at a short notice. Now, workers are recruited through labor contractors who are themselves employee of the organization. And the disadvantage of this system is that if the contractor himself decides to leave the organization, then obviously all the workers employed through him will quit or will not be suitable for your organization. The next external source of recruitment is advertising on television. Now, the practice of telecasting of vacant posts over television is gaining importance these days. And the detailed requirement of job, the qualities required, the background, the experience, all is publicized publicized along with the profile of the organization, through which, or see, this would obviously give you a mass information so that you can get more and more number of applicants for the job. This is the most advanced form which we are using now, that is web publishing. Internet is becoming a common source of recruitment these days, and there are certain websites specifically designed and dedicated for the purpose of providing information. Like we have Naukri.com, we have TimesJob. All these are the websites wherein any person who's looking out for a job, they can just upload their resume or biodata, and whenever any vacancy arises, they get the notification either from the recruitment consultants or from the company directly itself. So websites are very commonly visited again, both by the prospective employees and the organization searching for suitable people. So these are the sources of external sources of recruitment. Now let's study what are the merits of external sources, or what are the advantages. The most important advantage of hiring people through external source is you get qualified people or qualified manpower. The management can attract qualified and trained people to apply for the vacant position in your organization. And the second advantage is that they get wider choice, because when vacancies are advertised widely, a large number of applicants from the outside the organization are going to apply. So management has a wider choice to choose the best candidate. Another advantage is fresh talent. When external recruitment is done, it provides not only wider choice, but it brings a new talent, a fresh talent in an organization who are very creative or innovative. So, however, it is of course expensive and time consuming too. Another advantage is competitive spirit. If a company taps external sources, the existing staff may have to compete with the outsiders. So now they will work even harder. Now, if as an employee, if I come to know that another new person is going to join at the same, with the same job profile and at the same cadre or same position as mine, then I would take that person as a competitor. That would help me to work even more harder and show better performance so that I can get promotion. So it would create a competitive spirit among the employees. Now, there are certain limitations of external sources. One of the major limitation is dissatisfaction among the existing staff. That is, sometimes when external recruitment is done, it may lead to dissatisfaction or frustration. Like, let's say, for example, that I have worked in particular organization and I am working in the same organization since 7 years. I'm waiting for promotion. I'm working hard. I'm giving best performance. But still, if another outside person is recruited to fill up the higher position and promotion is not given to me, and the person is recruited from outside who has less experience than me, then obviously it's going to create a dissatisfaction and frustration. So this may, be very harmful to the organization, because they may feel that their chance of promotions are reduced. Another limitation is it's a very lengthy process. When we do external source of recruitment, either through advertising or any sources, it's a time-consuming process, because the business has to notify the vacancy, wait for the applicant, then select them. They have to pass through the various tests, medical examination, which is a very lengthy process. Another one is it's a costly process, of course, because it is very costly to recruit staff from external sources. A lot of money has to be spent and invested on advertising and on the processing of applications. Thank you very much. I'm sure you would be very much clear with recruitment, the sources of recruitment, that is internal and external, and you would be very much clear with advantages and disadvantages of the same. Thank you very much.